Motif set number 8, Mary. The first motif in this set is number 106, and it's the mistletoe. I love this. I love those big, giant French knots of white that are traditional on mistletoe, and I like the kind of faded green. It goes nicely on this background. This is the mistletoe. The next one is the Christmas tree, and this one has some really cute stitching. There's backstitch or outline stitch to do the veins on the tree or the trunk and the branches. And then there's lazy daisies. There's a star stitch up here, and then French knots on the ends of the branches. The next one is the pine bough, and this one is mostly all embroidered. Lots of layers and rows of back stitching create the stems, and then the pine needles are done with a silk and pearl thread that's probably a size 5, and it's variegated. It gives it a really nice look. And then the berries are done with from going from the outside to the inside. Lots of little straight stitches, an Algerian eye stitch. The next one is Bethlehem, and I love the way she squared this off inside the hexagon, and there's some little glittery thread up here for the star, and just lots of grays and golds and beiges in here for the little village. I like how the windows were done. They are just little stitches, kind of upside down, backwards L's, to create the shapes and the implication of windows, and then little arrowhead stitches down here in the grass. Next is Baby Jesus, and this one is cute. I like his little star around his head. I like the little nails or the rivets in the manger, and everything else is just pretty basic, and I like how the eyes are closed rather than little French knots. The next one is another stitched motif, no applique on this one, and this is it. I would use press and seal to get this first round circle on, and then just freehand and eyeball the berries and the little branches on that, and that was all done with a stem stitch and French knots. Next is the angel. This is cute colors on this. It reminds you of the little Christmas pageants that our kids were in, and some little glittery thread wound around and threaded through some back stitch. I like the little details in the dresses with the outline stitch. She's a cute little angel. Next is the candy cane, and this one is applique down with little strips of red wool that are just then couched on. Chain stitch here through the little vine and the ribbon that goes across. The Christmas bell is next, and I love the gold on this. Again, some Algerian eye stitch for the little donger or the ding dong thing inside the bell, and the berries on top. Santa Claus is the next one. This is actually a boucle yarn, which means it's nubby and has differences of widths through the yarn. And she couched this down to make him have a furry beard. That's cute. His hair is just little straight stitches peeking out from underneath his hat band. The next one is Swirls and Holly, and I like how this has some blue in it. That'll tie in nicely with some of the other parts of the quilt. The next one is the poinsettia, and this is very, very simple out here, and then the inside is just filled with French knots. I think that's pretty. This next one is sweet. I love the coloring on this. just applique down with little star stitches across there. Those are cute. And then just little straight stitches across the candy cane for little fine red lines. And then a silken pearl out here that is, I don't know what stitch that would be. Probably stitch number 9. It's pretty cute. Next is the gingerbread. And I like how she put buttons on this to make them big. A lot of times our little homemade cookies have great big eyes and buttons. And she used rickrack here that she just tucked underneath on the sides. And you could also do white rickrack for icing. The last one is the elf. And this one is in a quilt, so I'll gather it up here. And this is an awfully cute little motif. Just straight lines across to stripe the stockings, some little star stitches on his mittens, and straight stitches for the hair, French knots, straight stitch, French knots again. And that's a cute little elf, the last one in that set, set number 8.